The way I am about to start this vlog right now, and I actually have no idea what I'm gonna be reading, mind-boggling. Yes, you heard that correctly. I actually have zero clue what I'm gonna be reading in this vlog. It's February. You know what that means. It is the perfect time to read romance. I have been getting into the romance genre more. I have definitely dabbled more over the past year or so, trying to find my footing on like what I like, what authors I like, what I look for in a romance, what I don't like in a romance. And let me tell you, it's hard, okay? It is hard. There are so many romance books in the world, so many romance authors in the world. I mean, there's like all subgenres in romance. It's really hard to narrow it down. And when I was thinking about this vlog, because I knew that I wanted to do a romance vlog in February, I was like, how am I going to choose? So I just decided to enlist some help. So I reached out to 3 of my bookish besties. I reached out to Liv from Liv's Library, Kendall from Kendall's Pages, and Elizabeth from Little Life of Books on Instagram. And I was like, yo, I need some help. I need some help. Can you pick a romance book for me to read that you think that I will enjoy from an author that I haven't read from before? Because I am trying to branch out, and the only requirement was that obviously it's an author that I haven't read from before and that it was kind of minimal spice. Other than that, I have no clue what direction they could have gone with this. Truly, I left it up to them. I had them send me either a video or a voice memo, and they all so kindly sent me a video. And Liv and Kendall have been sick, so like, I'm just so grateful that they took the time to do this for me. So they sent me a video clip of them picking a book. I'm going to watch it with you, and we are going to find out together what I'm going to be reading in this vlog, and then depending upon what it is, I will either find it at the library or we'll do some book shopping. I genuinely have no clue the direction that they could have gone. I sent them the list of authors that I have read from before, which is not a long list. That sounds like it's crazy, but in the romance genre, that's not a very long list for me. So I sent them the ones that I have read from before, and I was like, have at it. So I have no idea even the subgenre that they could have gone for. I could be getting myself into like a cowboy romance right now. Like, I genuinely do not know. However, I will say that all 3 of them align with me and reading in so many different ways, which is why I went to them. Like, not just in the romance genre, like thriller, fantasy, all of it. Like, we all have very similar tastes. So I was like, I feel like I'm in such good hands, but also like, you do you. If you want to go rogue, you go rogue. And I did get a text message from Elizabeth saying, I hope you're still friends with me afterwards. So I don't know what that means, but we're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. So I'm gonna scooch over and I'm gonna put the videos on the screen here. I'm going to watch them with you, and we are going to find out what I'm going to be reading. Let's start with Liv. She was the first one to send me her recommendation, and we got so lucky. None of the videos, like the still on them, had them holding up the book. I was so worried that when they sent the videos over that I was going to be spoiled beforehand. Luckily, it didn't happen, and I'm so happy about it. Liv truly is one of my favorite people on this planet. We align, like, so, we are so similar. It's actually kind of scary. I feel like we have been, like, estranged. Like, it was fate that we met. Because we are truly so alike, not just like in books, but in life, in the way that we are, in just so many aspects of life. We are so similar. So I feel like the world was just like, you two need to find each other and become friends. I am so grateful for her. She inspires me so much. If you are looking for the coziest content on the planet, I mean, it's there. It is there. Whenever I feel like I just need to like wind down, I need to like have something that's just gonna like calm my soul, I go to her content. Just the coziest content creator, but also just the sweetest soul. Oh, I love her so much. Oh my god. Okay. I'm so nervous. Okay. Whew. Let me make sure my volume is turned up. Okay. Book number 1 from Liv. Let's go.
Hi Kyla, thank you so incredibly much for letting me choose a romance book for you. I'm so excited about this, but I will say I had to do a little digging because we have the same reading taste, which I love, but I found an all-time new favorite author to me last year, and I also got to meet her, and I don't think you've read from her yet. So, can you guess who it is? It is Catherine Center.
Yes!
The rom-comers was
Yes,
so
yes,
much fun.
yes.
And let me just say, I was not a huge fan of the male main character in this book until the very end. So I hope this piques your interest and you want to know why, but I really think you could love Catherine Center. I'm excited to read more from her as well, and I'm even more excited to see what you think of this book. Bye!
Oh my god, the way that I was hoping one of them would pick this book. I'm so excited. I have had my eye on this book since it came out. It was getting such good reviews and it seemed like it was going to be a bit of me, but again, I hadn't read from her before and I've heard mixed reviews on her other books, so I was like, I don't know. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Whew. Okay, this is off to like the perfect start. Ooh, I'm so excited. This might be one that I purchase actually. I feel like I'm gonna love this one. I don't know. We'll have to see what the library has to offer, but I might just go ahead and purchase this one. I mean, her copy is gorgeous. It's got sprayed edges. Like, I mean, are we surprised? No. Also, I need the sweater. Liv, I need the sweater. I need to know where you got that immediately. Need. Okay. Okay. I'm so excited. All right, let's go to Elizabeth next. Elizabeth, oh my god, honestly, just the sweetest human I think I have ever come across in my life. If you need someone to like hype you up, support you, or just make you feel good, like Elizabeth is like a warm hug whenever I feel like I'm like feeling down or I just need like a little extra pep in my step. It's her. It's always her. And we align so similarly on a lot of fantasy books, on a lot of thrillers as well. And I know that she reads more romance than I do, so I completely trust what she has to say. However, she didn't say that she's like, I hope we're still friends after this. And you know what? We will always be, but now I'm like even more curious and nervous. Okay. Ooh.
Right. Kyla. Thank you for asking me to pick a book for you for the month of February. Not only that, pick a romancy book. And you have a long list of authors that we both love. So the one person that is not on this list is such a gamble of a choice because you're either going to absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. So let's just set the tone. If this were a Taylor Swift song, it'd be My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. It's also going to be a book that is not a typical romance book. There's a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, but when things come together, it makes the love even better. And some of the quotes in this book are so Taylor Swift coded. It's also British. I wonder if you're starting to guess what it could be.
I know what it is.
And I read it last year in February. I read the whole series. I binged it and it was phenomenal. And it's now an all-time favorite. So, My Works by Jessa Hastings. I want you to try it. See what you think. You also have to stick with it to kind of appreciate it, which means after you finish this, if you're like, okay, I like it, I don't love it, I need you to keep going, okay? Just see how you feel. I don't even know if this is on your radar, but I do know that you said you want to romanticize your life in 2025. And this is a book that kind of helps you do that because the lows are low, but the highs are high. And there's little aspects of it that are just very dainty and sweet and sincere. And I don't know, that's all I have to say about it. My fingers are crossed that you will like this.
Oh my god. Okay. Also another one, I'm like, my cheeks hurt. I'm smiling so much. Just, first of all, I mean, the Taylor Swift references, like, girl, you know how to get to my soul. You know how to get to my soul. This book has been on my radar, actually. Every single time I like see it at the bookstore, I'm like, oh, I want to check it out. I want to get it, but I hate the US covers now. I think they're hideous. So I want to get my hands on the UK cover like she has, because they're just so much cuter. And they like do not look like the topic of the book does not align with the cover at all. Like, that looks like a cozy book cover to me, and I know that this book is not cozy from everything that I've heard about this. It's like Gossip Girl, but make it British, and you don't have to say anything else, because I am a fan of Gossip Girl. Is that bad to say? Maybe. It's toxic. What are you gonna do? But, like, also, it's wonderful. It's awful, but it's wonderful. So this has been on my radar for that reason, but also, I don't think I realized how, like, just saying how deep it is, I don't think I was realizing that. I think thought it was going to be more, like, popcorn, and I think because I think of, like, Gossip Girl, it was, like, not being that, like, it's serious, obviously, but, like, it's not that serious. It's, like, a teen drama show, that I was expecting more of that. Oh, now I'm even more excited and invested. I need to figure out how to get this, like, immediately. Maybe I'll just get it from the library to start and then see if I can find myself a copy, like the UK cover. I know they're probably all over Pango, but that's probably going to take too long by the time I, like, actually start reading. Oh, this is off too, and then, like, I couldn't have asked for better books. Like, these were already on my radar. You guys, this is exactly why I picked them. Okay, now we have the last one. I figured 3 was like the perfect number, especially to read in a week. I do know that Magnolia Parks is a little bit longer, so, but that's okay. I don't mind. Okay, last but certainly not least, by like any means, is Kendall. Kendall is the light. She is the light in this world that we all need. Kendall makes me laugh on a daily basis. I genuinely just love her sense of humor. She just makes me giggle, but she is also just a pure light, like just a pure soul. She is just a feel-good friend. Again, another person that will just hype you up whenever you need to. Also, such cozy content. I love it. We align so much, especially in like thriller and horror as well. I do know that we've had some difference of opinions on books as well. So I'm very curious on what she chose for moments. I also just have to give like a special shout out to Kendall because she was truly sick when I asked her to do this. Liv was as well, and I know that they're both fighting off colds. So thank you both for like showing up when you didn't have to. Like, I even said, I was like, if you're not up for it, totally fine, but they both showed up, and I am so grateful. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay, we are gonna watch Kendall's, and then we will have a full TBR for this video.
Hi Kyla, thank you so much for asking me to pick out a book for you for a romance read. I am not a huge romance reader, but you and I kind of have the same taste with our romance, and we've read a lot of the same authors. A lot of your favorites are my favorites. And so this author I feel like is so underrated for her romance books, and I just have a feeling that you will really like them. I have only read one of hers, and it's not this one, but I'm kind of giving you free range to pick whatever sounds the best or most intriguing to you. But I just want you to pick up a book by K.A. Tucker. This one is called Say You'll Still Love Me, which does kind of sound like it's up your alley. Because it is a girl who is trying to make a name for herself in a male-dominated world. And I feel like that's something that you would really love to read about. But she just has a way with words and a way with telling a story. I read The Simple Wild from her 2 years ago, and it was amazing. So I really hope that you're able to find one by her and that you absolutely love it.
My God. Okay, I've heard of that book, but the author did not resonate with me at all. Like, I did not remember who it was written by, but I have heard of A Simple Wild. I've never heard of that book that she just said, so that's fun. But I do love the idea of a woman trying to make her way in a male-dominated world. I mean, aren't we all? Aren't we all? Let's be real. That is so fun. Okay, so we have two that like were on my radar and one that like completely was not even like in my brain. I love that. I love it. This is why. Because I might find like a new favorite like all-time author. And I trust Kendall with my life. This is also why I picked them, is because Liv and Kendall specifically, I know aren't like huge romance readers. Like we're definitely gravitate more towards fantasy and thriller. So the fact that both of them aren't like hugely into romance like me, but we align so much of what we have liked, is why I picked them. And I truly feel like I just made like the perfect trifecta of a TBR. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, now we need to figure out how we are getting these books. I am going to check the library website and put them on hold if I can. If not, then we might have to take a little trip to the bookstore, which, like, twist my arm. Twist my arm, shall we? Thank you guys so much. Honestly, Liv, Kendall, Elizabeth, I love you all so much. Thank you for doing this for me. Fingers crossed I end up loving them all. And if not, I hope you still love me. Happy Monday. I'm looking very smart today because I have to be on a group interview. Not me interviewing, but I'm helping host a group interview for a position, and so I feel like I need to be on my best professional behavior and not just like show up in a sweatshirt, which is like truly have been just my uniform recently because it's been cold. We got a lot of snow over the weekend though, and it was beautiful. The Super Bowl last night, and that was, I mean, I didn't really care either way, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm from New England. We're Patriots fans, although, like, the Patriots have been sucking basically since Tom Brady left. That's a whole nother conversation. I'm not like I'm not huge into football, and yeah, so I didn't really care either way, but I really was just hoping, like, slightly that the Chiefs won so that we got all of the Taylor and Travis content, I'm not gonna lie, but we didn't. Instead, we got sad Trav. Like, oh my god, I can't even imagine having to do the interviews, like, after you leave. Man just, like, wanted out. He was just like, let me free. I don't want to be doing this right now. And, like, who would, right? Who would? But, like, that was honestly an abysmal game. But the halftime show, I mean, Kendrick really did that, didn't he? He really did that. I love hearing, like, all of the lore and everything that went into that like wasn't so obvious. There was a lot of Easter eggs, and I have been thoroughly enjoying myself on TikTok this morning, of everyone like freaking out, like catching all of these new things. He did that. Anyways, I'm here to give you a reading update. It's not a great one. It is not a great one. It's not a good start to this vlog at all. Also, I'm really sorry for the lighting. It's like cloudy/sunny, so this is gonna change like 5 million times. Bear with me here. Yeah, so This has nothing to do with, this is what's so hard about like having your friends pick for you. It has nothing to do with like how much we align on so many books or necessarily about this author itself. I'm just gonna show you. I started reading Say You Still Love Me by K.A. Tucker, which was Kendall's pick. And to be fair, I just want to preface this with saying, if you remember in the clip, she said, I'm not necessarily saying go with this book because I personally haven't read this one yet. It was just go pick a K.A. Tucker. However, I was like, oh, I'm gonna probably pick the one that's she's showing because it sounds like I would enjoy it. It sounds like, I mean, she gave a very brief synopsis, but like from that, it was like very women empowerment and that kind of thing. And normally that's something that I really enjoy. And it was the one that was available in my library, I'm not even gonna lie. I think the other one, A Simple Wild, like it was not available to me. I would have had to put it on hold and like who knows how long that would have taken, whatever. I'm kicking myself because I feel like maybe I should have waited because I had to DNF this 100 pages in. The utter privilege and just pretentious attitude from specifically the main character, but like a lot of the characters. I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be like a redemption and she's gonna like, she's gonna change, or maybe it's just starting this way. I'm sorry, 100 pages in, and Homegirl was not redeeming herself at all, and I just cannot. I cannot with those kinds of characters. I can stomach an unlikable character, okay? But when it like comes to, when this is supposed to be like women empowerment and she's like standing up for herself in her field, which she does, but when you pair that with just straight, the most pretentious about your privilege, like it just loses the connection there, and I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. In this one, we're following Piper. There are like some redeemable things that I was like, oh, okay, this is like kind of cute or whatever. Anyways, we're following Piper, and she is basically like in the running. She works at her dad's company. Like she got the job at her at her dad's company. Her family comes from money. It's very obvious. They talk about it a lot, and she is hoping to like take over one day, but obviously she's a female in a male dominated world, so she really has to like try and prove herself, and you know, obviously all of these conversations come up. Like that part I get, and if we got more, if I liked any other part of her personality, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna like stick through it or whatever, but like the rest of her personality sucks. Anyways, she runs into, in the lobby, or she thinks she sees in the lobby, this boy that she met at summer camp. So we're getting flashback chapters to her working at the summer camp, and the scenes of her, like her mom dropping her off at the summer camp to be a like camp counselor or whatever when she's 16 years old. I literally wanted to tear my hair out. Tear my hair out. She was like, oh my god, why are you making me do this? Oh my god, I'm only doing it because Dad promised me a car at the end of the summer. And like, you know that I'm gonna get the most baller, blinged out kind of car. Even though it's a Volvo. And then, I can't. And then this poor girl, like, is, like, meeting all of these other camp counselors, and I shouldn't say this poor girl. She is meeting all of these other camp counselors, and she is judging every single one of them. There's this poor girl that she has, like, red hair and freckles and, like, hi, hello, and she was like, oh my god, I feel so bad for her that she has freckles. Like, oh, she must get made fun of all the time. And I was like, girl, you're hitting, like, a pain spot in me because I used to get made fun of all the time for having red hair and having freckles, so like you're really like hitting me here. And I was hoping that like she did come around like a little bit and was like, oh my god, like she's actually so beautiful, blah blah blah, but like, oh, I just wanted to rip her hair out. I just wanted to. And she wasn't even more redeeming in the now chapters. Like, if it was like just 16-year-old her acting that way, I'd be like, okay, whatever. Like, I can probably deal with it during the flashbacks because she's 16. Like, what is she now? But as an adult, she was not any better. Anyway, she runs into this boy in the lobby and she's like, oh my god. And anyways, that's kind of like where I am, but even 100 pages in, I'm like, I don't care. I do not care. Now, do I understand the boy at summer camp aspect? Yes, I do, because I went to summer camp for multiple summers, and there was a boy who I was deeply, deeply in love with at summer camp. His name was Nick, and he was gorgeous, and I just loved him to pieces. Anyway, so like I understand that aspect of it, but I would obviously not act that way. I'm not pining for this man I married, but like I wouldn't act that way if I saw him again. Oh my god, I just can't. There's just something about this character, and it's not necessarily like the writing, but it does make me question K.A. Tucker as a author. And like I said, maybe there's a redemption, but like I just can't stomach it. I cannot do it for another 270 pages. I just can't. But maybe she does come around. Maybe she's not as pretentious and just horrible at the end of it. Maybe she is. But like if she is, and you'll have to let me know if you've read this, if she is, that makes me question whether or not K.A. Tucker is for me, because I can't. I just absolutely can't. Like, you have to have some sort of, like, depth to you. If you're going to be that kind of character where you come from all of this money, you're getting handed all of these things. I'm not saying she didn't work at all, but, like, you get what I'm trying to say. Her childhood was not a rough place to be. And so when you have the kind of character like that, like, you have to have depth to it and have to have something more that makes you like the character and like want to continue reading from their point of view. And 100 pages in, I just don't see that. So I have to DNF this. I might give A Simple Wild another chance. It won't happen in this vlog because I have 2 other books to read this week, and because I DNF this and I didn't have the other 2 like in hand, I kind of lost a day of reading on Sunday, so, which is fine, but like I have to like have the time to fit those 2 in. So I might give A Simple Wild another, is that what it's called? I don't know, whatever. Her other book that's like super popular, I looked on Goodreads, so many people rated it 5 stars, so I feel like I will give that one a chance at some point to truly give K.A. Tucker a whirl, but as of right now, this book needs to go back to the library. Immediately. I don't want to look at it anymore. No, that's being dramatic. It's just not for me. Again, this has nothing to do with, like, Kendall, obviously. Kendall, I'm sorry. This is not how I wanted this to go at all. I truly was hoping for, like, 5 stars across the board. 4 or 5 stars across the board. Or just finding new authors. This is not how I wanted to start it, and I am so sorry. But I always promise to keep it real and authentic, and that's just how I feel about that book. I also now feel bad because you said you hadn't read it. So, you know what? Still give it a whirl. Everyone has, it's different strokes for different folks, you know? So maybe give it a whirl, but I do still plan on giving A Simple Wild a chance. I'm just so sorry. This is not going the way that I wanted it to. I love you so much. Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Trying to get some my snacks. It's you're trying to get some of my snacks. What?
When I tell you that it is that feels like it's -5 today with 25-mile-an-hour winds, I'm sorry. What? We are getting a winter, y'all. It's been a couple of years, and like I can't really complain because I feel like global warming, you know, it's a thing, and the fact that we're having a winter, I'm like, Go you. Go you, planet. Go you. But at the same time, we are having a winter. However, I do know that the kind of winter we are having means that we are going to have like a really beautiful spring and summer in terms of like plant life. So that's something to look forward to. There's a silver lining to it all. Anyways, it's been a couple of days since I've updated this vlog. Also, I like kind of tried to like blow out my hair this morning, and it's giving Lord Farquaad like more than ever. However, I'm not going anywhere today. I'm literally gonna be working from home. So, I don't hate it. I feel like the hoodie was not the chance to go. Like, if I was just wearing, like, a shirt, like, it's fine. It's fine. I need a trim so bad. It's gotten so long already. Yeah, I mean, it could be better. It could be worse, for sure. It could be better. I just, like, could not take the time to, like, put my waves in it today when I just know I'm not going anywhere, and it's so windy outside that, like, even if I were to go outside, it would be stick straight in, like, a hot second anyways. So, anyway, I just needed to address the hair situation. So it's been a couple of days since I actually have updated this vlog. We did have Valentine's Day. I have like not been feeling well the past couple of days, which is why I haven't really updated. And on Valentine's Day, I was like down for the count. I barely slept the night before. And so I was just like so beyond exhausted that whole day, and like by the time Valentine's Day night came around, I was like, I can't rally. Luckily, normally we don't even celebrate on Valentine's Day anyways. Like we used to, but like lately, when you're this far in, we always like try to celebrate a different day instead of like hitting the crowd on Valentine's Day. But we were like, oh, let's just go out. We wanted to try a new like smash burger place down the street, which we knew would not be very crowded on Valentine's Day because it's not the typical go-to. So we just got takeout from the smash burger place, and we brought it home and we watched some of our show, which we are watching The Night Manager right now, which is like an older show. It's from like 2017, I think. My husband has watched it before, like when it came out, but it's been so long, and it's very hard for us to find a show that we'll actually like and like watch together. We have very different tastes. So we watched some of that, and it was just everything we could have ever wanted and more. We'll do like a makeup date and go out elsewhere when it's not like frigid. This is also the problem. It's like it's been this cold and windy, and we got a snowstorm, and we keep getting snowstorms, so it's just like we'll celebrate in the spring. Which is fine. And then I just wasn't like feeling the great. I just needed like a down weekend. However, my down weekend was consumed with this book, and oh my goodness, I'm not done yet. I literally have like maybe 50 pages left, maybe like 40 something pages. I'll probably finish it on my lunch break today. Consumed by this book. Looks so thick, but there are a lot of pages that are like text messages, so it's not as long as you would expect. But this book, I'm so happy that Elizabeth picked this, and I finally got around to it because I'm eating this up. This is what was wrong with the other book, Say You'll Remember Me, Say You'll Love Me, whatever that book was called. I already returned it to the library. Where I was saying that it's like toxic characters, unlikable characters, and there's just like no redeeming qualities to them, and the plot wasn't like gripping me. This is the way to do it. Are these characters likable? To a certain degree, but mostly no. They all have like a lot of depth to them, and you know that there's like more to the story that you're uncovering as the book goes on. So it just makes you in tuned to the characters, and you just can't not, like, you have to keep reading. There's just like, you can't put it down. You need to know what's going to happen next. If I could describe this book, I would say this is like Chuck and Blair from Gossip Girl but make it British. And yeah, I mean, that's really all you need to know. We have a lot of toxic relationships. It's not just the main characters. In this one, we're following Magnolia Parks and basically the love of her life, BJ, and something happened and they are no longer together. It's been a while since they have been together, but they have this like deep-rooted connection and that they just like cannot stay away from each other. But then like things happen around them and the way they treat each other is just awful. Truly, like truly awful. It's so toxic. It's beyond toxic at this point, but at the same time, weirdly, I don't know if I would necessarily say that I'm like weirdly rooting for them, but I like want their story. I need more of their story. I need to know how this is going to unfold, and I know that this is not going to end with like a pretty bow because it is a series, obviously, and we have I think 4 books in the series, maybe 5. And so I know this is probably going to continue throughout the series. So I know that I'm going to be left like, okay, time for the next one, which I will be continuing in this series. I would say right now, if I had to rate it, I would probably rate it 4 stars, maybe. I could be convinced to rate it higher, depending upon the ending and how things wrap up in this particular one. I also feel like my rating could be subject to change, like, as the series goes on. You know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes when it's, like, first book, you're still getting introduced to all of the characters, and like, don't get me wrong, there's not like a boring part of this book. We are not like stopping at any second because we have those other relationships too. It's not just Magnolia and BJ. We're meeting their friends, and of course their friends have toxic relationships. We're meeting the parents. Of course the parents have toxic relationships. It is very much like that Gossip Girl world where like they all interconnect and it's all toxic across the board, but like you can't help but get invested in the characters, you know? And this is what this book is, 100%. This is like, I mean, they're in their 20s, so I say teen drama lightly, but this is like the teen drama you know and love, but they're a little bit older, and they're, just as toxic. They're just as toxic, and like, oh my god. I just love it. I'm eating it up. I also feel like there's a lot of like Easter eggs being dropped for the next book, so I'm continuing in the series and I'm very excited about it. I also like the text message aspect. You know me, I love the mixed media. So I'm having a good time. But that is my reading update for now. I will update you when I actually finish it, let you know if my thoughts and feelings have changed, if my rating has changed. But right now, I would say it's probably a 4.25, but I could be convinced to rate it higher depending upon how this ends. So I love that for me. With my last and final update for this vlog. I have finished the rom-commers. This was my audiobook. Look, son, you were out in like full force a second ago. Apologies for that swift lighting change. This was like my walking book this past week. Whenever I went out on a walk, because we're having like fake spring in New England, this always happens. I shouldn't say always, but like in recent years where, you know, global warming has been a thing, we have like a fake spring week in like the middle of winter, and then all of a sudden it like plummets back down again. We're in fake spring right now. It's like 45 degrees outside right now and it feels amazing. I saw 3 people walking in shorts today. Us New Englanders, we're just built different. We are just built different. You say 30 degrees, we say shorts and a t-shirt. Okay, maybe not all of us, obviously, but, there's a good amount of people that are out in shorts today. It just feels a lot warmer since we've been in, like, the negatives, you know? Anywho, enough about what am I, British? I'm like talking about the weather. Anyways, this has been my walking book, and I highly recommend the audiobook. I thought it was really funny, and I thought it was really well done. This was really cute. In this one, we are following Emma, and Emma has been taking care of her dad for a long time because he needs some help around the house, so she is living with him and taking care of him, but she's also a writer. But she like dreams about being a screenwriter. I mean, she is a writer. She writes little rom-coms, she submits them for contests, she wins, etc. But she like longs to have that like big career. And then her ex from high school has this opportunity for her to co-write a rom-com with a famous screenwriter. She's basically gonna go and like correct his work because what he wrote is pretty much awful, but like they're not saying that, you know? And she gets there and the guy is like the grumpiest of grumpiest men. He had no idea that she was coming, which like awful on them for not even like warning the dude. But he's like really a big jerk at first, and then you start to peel back the layers, you know, onions, they have layers. You start to peel back the layers of Charlie and uncover why he is the way that he is. And honestly, he kind of reminded me a little bit of my husband. Look, on first impression, he's not a ray of sunshine, okay? Sun, man. Good on you, lady. Good on you. On first impression, he's not like the most friendly person, but then you start to get to know him and he's like a teddy bear, you know? Same thing with Charlie. You just start to peel back those layers and you get to know why he is the way that he is. I will say this was a little like insta-lovey for me. I think I'm gonna rate this one overall 3.5 stars. It was really funny. It was actually like quite hilarious, like quite a few laugh out loud moments, which I really enjoy because it is called The Rom-Commers, and I love how it all like ties together at the end with that title. I think that was really cute and well done. I also like love it has like a hint of Abby Jimenez like deep layer to it, where it's not just about the romance. I would say actually the majority of this book is not necessarily about their romance. It's more about them writing and like having this relationship through writing, and she's trying to kind of show him like what love actually looks like written out on the page, which is obviously very like meta because you're reading it. And I like that. So do I want to say it's 4 stars? It's like somewhere in there, 3.5 to 4. It wasn't like my overall like favorite romance, but I like how we have the depth and other life things happening. You know, she has these issues that are happening with her dad, and her sister is like taking over the care while she's on this trip, and it's just, there's a lot going on there of like real world things, while also we're having a little bit of a romance. But I do think it was very like insta-lovey for me. I do love a grumpy sunshine, so I really appreciated that aspect, and I liked his character growth, and like once you started to peel everything back of like getting to know why he is the way he is, of like what that meant and the depth to that as well. I really enjoyed that, but there was just something about it that just like did not hit me in my core like other romance books have. Like I wasn't like kicking my feet or squealing or anything like that. I was like, oh, it's cute, it's funny. Like more so the humor and the depth is what I liked, more so than the actual like romance of it all. And for a romance book, you know, you want to like be invested, and I wasn't necessarily as invested in that for them. Like if this would have ended up with them just friends, like I think I would have been fine too, you know? Like I wasn't like, oh my god, oh my god, the dog was just stretching really weird. I thought she was falling over for a second. Nope, she was just stretching weird. But it wasn't like the best romance that I've ever read and I wasn't like super invested in their romance overall. I feel like I said, just, you know, if they would have ended up friends, I think I would have felt the same, you know, either or. But I do like Catherine Center's writing, and I do really appreciate her humor in here. I appreciate the depth, so I definitely think that I will check out more from her. And I also like that it was very clean. There wasn't pretty much any spice at all, and I liked those like smaller, cuter moments, so I definitely will check out more from her. It could have just been like these characters and this story in particular that like wasn't hitting me at my core, but like not every romance is, and that's perfectly fine. So I think I'll land on like a 3.5 for this. I think that's like a good solid rating. There was a lot about it that I enjoyed, but there was just, you know, the overall romance of it all, I was just like, I could take it or leave it. And I feel like for a romance book, that's kind of what you're hoping for, you know? That's why we're here. So, enjoyed it. I'm gonna return it to the library now. I'm actually going to pick up another book right now, so I'm actually physically going to return that right now. But that is the end of this vlog. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and thank you so much to Liv, Kendall, and Elizabeth for doing this for me. This was so fun and such a fun experience. I think the overall win for this vlog was definitely Magnolia Parks, and like this is exactly why I did this vlog, was to like get outside my comfort zone and read those books that like either I haven't heard of or have been on my TBR, but like I've been super hesitant to check out because they're romance books. Like Magnolia Parks, I'm 1000% continuing in that series. Like I already am like craving the next one. I'm going to order them. I'm so sorry about this lighting. I'm going to order them. I'm so excited to read the rest in that series, but also I'm excited to check out more from the other authors. I definitely want to give K.A. Tucker another chance with A Simple Wild. I want to check that one out because that one has like rave reviews. So that was like kind of a flop, but also is gonna push me to check her out, like her other ones out, and see maybe it was just that book that I didn't jive with. But I also love that like Kendall brought me an author that I've never heard of before. So that was really exciting. And then we have Catherine Center, which like I'm excited to check out more from her. So overall, while we have kind of middle range ratings, I would call this vlog a success, and I am so grateful to you three for participating and you guys for watching. Thank you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
With you and I, the future is bright.